Hi guys, it's Roxy here in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Sunday, February 2nd. So we are going to make an example with this bundle. It's really a hybrid bundle. You have also, let me see, grab it, the hybrid embossing folder. But this is a 12-piece stamp set, a 12-piece die set. And I've had a lot of fun playing around with it. I have a couple stamps that I need to put back in there. But it's a very fun stamp set. Now today we are going to be making a card and we're going to be using just these small dies here. Alright, so let me go ahead and put this off to the side. I'm also going to get into my bag of, let me grab this first so I don't lose my dies. Alright, and I also have, this is my little bag full of cardstock that already has the adhesive sheets on the back. So we're going to do some butterflies out of these. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let me grab this. I have a lot of tape on there. I was doing a lot of creating yesterday with this set. I had some fun. Alright, so let's go ahead. For the mini, you need your plate 1 and you need 2 twos. Alright, so let's go ahead, and I like that this, and I'm not going to do any of the bodies. Maybe I'll do a few of the bodies. But I like that you get 2 of these because it really makes it go fast when you want to go ahead and die cut multiples out. So I think I'm just going to cut out, oops, I don't have those lined up. Sometimes when you put the dies right by the edge, it's easier if you go, oh my goodness, go from the other way. Maybe I need to lead in a little bit. This paper is just a little bit thicker because I have that extra edge on there. Let me bring that down a little bit. I love the mini, but because the rollers are so much smaller than the big one, that they get to be a little bit touchy. Now, why is this not sticking down? I have my overhead lights on, so I put a piece of grid paper down so you don't see those obnoxious rings from my overhead lights. Alright, so that finally went through. Let me put these over here on the side. We'll have to go ahead and punch a bunch out, so I'll have to be doing some weird talking while that's going on. I don't think I want to use the red. I think that's too harsh for what we're doing. Let's go with the orange. Alright, again, I'm not trying to get them. Oh, I do have them pretty close to where I'm feeding that in. Yeah, so once you get it started, I should have my little grip mat under here. Hang on. Alright. And what I like though when I have the adhesive underneath, it seems like they pop out of the dies easier. Here, let me grab. I don't have my little grip mat underneath here. That sometimes helps a little bit. Not my grip mat, my shelf liner. Alright, again, I don't think I want that color. Let's go with some pink. I'm sorry, that's Flirty Flamingo, for those of you who like to know the actual names. Alright, let's get those out of there. Do we want, yeah, let's do let's do that. I'm just going to do a couple more. And the nice thing is, once you've actually run these through, if you don't use them all, you have some ready to go. So I'll just throw them inside of one of my adhesive pockets and put them inside of the stamp set itself. Like I say, having 2 of these really helps, because now we're not worried about having to go through multiple times. I'm going to do a brighter yellow. This is Daffodil Delight. This one here is Crushed Curry. And even though those all look together, I think once I introduce this bright yellow, it's probably going to look a little off. But it's okay. We'll deal with it. Let's just do a couple more. So I'm going to be doing Gorgeous Grape, and I'm going to be doing Mango Melody. Mango Melody? I think that's right. We've had so many different names over the years. 25 years worth of names that sometimes I'll say a name and I'll be like, was that right? Sorry, because I had that paper folded up on the side, I had to put a little more elbow grease into running that one through. All right. Oops, and that went on the floor. Let me grab it real quick. And let's go ahead with, I think it's Melon Mambo. Oh, yeah, Mango Melody. I don't even think that ever was one. Did I say Mango Melody? Now I'm making up names. Hey, Stampin' Up! Did you notice that? I made up some names. There's some names for you for your next. There we go. Alright. And I haven't used the outline, but if I wanted to use the outline to back up some of these, I can. I'm going to see what it looks like before we do that. So then I didn't use, those are just more of the same colors on bigger sheets. Alright, let me put these over here on the side. Let me put those over here. Alright, and I think I'm done with you for now. Alright, so now let's get out our card base and our layer. Over here just grabbing out of my little bin. Oh, here, I'll bring it over so you can see what I'm talking about. Ugh. I'm just grabbing out, oh, there's some foil. Grabbing out card base. I'm going to do a 3 3/4 by 5 layer. So I'll grab one of those out here. And then I want to do a bright color to go underneath that. So I think I'm going to go with Lemon Lime Twist. I don't have that color in here, but I think it should give a nice little, this is going to be my underpiece. I have something on that one, so let me grab another one from out of here. There you go. So yes, so this is how I have them lined up. It's not the greatest, but these are my card fronts. These are my 4 by 5 1/4, which is my usual layer. In front of here I have a few that are the 3 7/8 by 5 and 1/8. So that's that little tiny layer that goes over this 3 1/4 by 5, which is what these are. The box, in case you want to know, it's a magnetic box. It doesn't fold down because I have cards back here. But it came from Hobby Lobby. It was clearanced last fall. I'm not sure if it'll be out there right now because it is a spring design. Alright. So this is what I'm going to do. Yes. So that's going to be my main layout. Looking just like that. But let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to start poking these out. And this is where I use one of these trays just for all my little pieces there. Now because these have gone through and they also have that adhesive backing, sometimes they don't come out the cleanest. That's why I'm not using my brush. I mean, you could use your brush. Let me grab. Oh, I moved my brush. Oh, there it is. I got some more ephemera, so I had to kind of rearrange my little ephemera drawer. So you could use your brush. I find the poketail tool, when we have these adhesive backings on it, just works better. Alright. And sometimes when you pull off those, you're going to expose some of the adhesive. So just be aware of that. Let's go ahead. I should have done a bunch of these ahead of time, huh? Let's see what I can get. See, some of these aren't coming out just because of that adhesive. So, how is your weekend going? Getting ready for the big Super Bowl next weekend? You know what? I wonder if it'd be a lot faster if I just peeled off the backs and did that and just put straight on the cardstock. See, this is what I don't like though, because then it gets stuck on my grid paper. Alright. So let's go ahead. I think we have the majority of these down. Let's grab my white cardstock, which is right here, and let's start putting some of these down, I guess, as we're doing this. So let's go there. Let's see if I take this off, if some of those come off. A few of them did. All right. Let's see. I think I need the yellow down here. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of, but not, going along the rainbow scheme. Now everyone starts their rainbow scheme in a different. On mine, on my stamp pads, I go from the pinks, the reds, to the orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then the neutrals. So I'm trying to keep somewhat in that rainbow order. And this is my problem, is that I start putting these the same way. So I'll do this one probably just straight down like that. And then let's go ahead and grab the backing off of one of these. All right. And this one, oh, I should get out my silicone mat. This one's going to hang off the edge. This one we're going to go like, see, it's too much like that, so I need to do it just a little bit more. I have my green over here. See, I get so weird about how these are now, because I don't want them on the same straight line here, but yet I don't want them to also have too many going in the same directions. But you know, butterflies may fly in the same directions. You know, we can't control nature, so that might happen. All right, those last two backings off there. Go ahead and do that straight up there. So I've used most every color here. I don't know, now that I'm looking at this, I don't know if I want this one in there. I don't know if it really matches. I think it's a little too dark. So let's go, I have a purple there, so I'm going to put a purple over here. And the rule of three kind of doesn't play into this, because usually when you stamp or you try to do a background and you're using different colors, you'll do like the triangle of three and go from there. But it doesn't really work here on this. Sorry, there's a piece that's getting stuck there. There we go. There's a piece that's stuck there. There. Alright, so I don't want to put it same level as that, so I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to have this one go straight across. I think I'm going to have a yellow come all the way across here. Like that. So I feel like I just need to take up a little bit of spot here. So maybe I'll do this one down here. This is where fingernails would really come in handy, but I don't do fingernails. Fingernails don't really grow anymore. They grow a little bit and then they stop, but I'm not going to complain. Alright, so let's see. So I think I want to get most of that wing there. So then I think I need a green up here. Now here is the big secret, and I usually forget to do this when I'm doing this technique. Yeah, I want to put it there. Usually forget it when I'm doing this technique. I'll put the orange down here. Any stamping you want to do before we run this through, you need to do now on this background piece. And that's what I usually forget. I'll run it through the embossing folder because we're going to run it through a tight knit embossing folder. I usually forget to do that. And then I'll be like, oh dang, because then once you run it through the embossing folder, you're not going to be able to stamp on it because now it's going to be all embossed and have all that tight little look on it. There's a green that's stuck. And then we're going to do that one just right there like that. Alright, so I think I have enough going on there. Go ahead and put that in my big garbage can over here. Not my little one. I found if I put a little one right by my, where I sit at my desk here, that I get a lot of stuff stuck on it and it irritates me because that's the one I use for work too. Alright, where are my blue handled scissors that I use? Oh, here they are. These are old. I don't use my good snips on glue. I used to use these, but see they say glue. Alright, I'm going to try it because they have a better point. I do have 3 different pairs that I have since bought that are dedicated to paper, ribbon, and I can't remember the other one. Alright, so I'm just cutting off, going right along that edge, cutting these butterflies so there's no overhang. I think there's a little bit there. Nope. So I'm just running my snips right along the edge of that paper. Ooh, I went into the paper there, darn it. Alright, so there we have that. Put this over here. Here is where if you want to put any sort of little dots or anything, you want to do it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and I think, because I don't have any blues, I think I want to introduce a brighter blue. So I'm going to do Coastal Cabana. some dots in there. Just kind of fill up that white space. Try not to stamp on the butterflies themselves. I already did. So this is just going to add a little more, adds to the texture. Alright, there. So there we have a little bit of a background there. Now we're ready to run this through. Whenever I use an embossing folder to actually, for this method, I use my bigger embossing folder. Now, I don't even know if I've actually, you know what? Oh, sorry, that was loud. I am going to use, do I want to use the swirls? No, I want to find the one with the dots. Here, I'm going to run this through. So I'm going to put this here. Remember, we have all the adhesive on there, so when I run it through here, it's actually going to, and I don't know if do I want to center it on that butterfly, the little dot. It's going to press all that together. So it's going to make it beautiful. So now I'm coming over here to my side counter. I'm grabbing out my platform one and my embossing. Bring this over first. One, and let me get my plate 4. I figure out where I hid it over here in the mess. Here we go. Plate 4. So just a reminder, on your base plate, it'll say here, you use 1 and 4 with 3D embossing folders. All right. So we have our platform 1. We have our folder. Make sure the binding always goes through first. Your Stampin' Up! Wants to go through last. Did I put this in upside down? Yes. I want it like this because I want the bumps to show through that way. Alright, so here's my folder. Stampin' Up! Goes through last. If you aren't using Stampin' Up! Folders, you just want to make sure that your binding edge or your connective edge always goes through first. There's a lot of pressure that's being built up here, and if you go this way, you could put up so much pressure that you crack this. Alright. So now, can you see how fun that is? So it just kind of embeds those into the paper itself. All right. Let me go ahead and put this back on my side counter here. All right. So we're getting close to being done. So now, whenever I run something through an embossing folder, I don't always put the seal or the glue on the back side of this because it's already kind of, you've broken up the fibers on that. So by breaking up the fibers, it's more likely that if you run a tape runner here that it might rip because you have broken apart those fibers. So if I do this, I usually will put my glue on this, but I'll put it in a little bit, not right to the edge. Now this one is a very small edge, so let's go like that. The glue also gives you a little bit of time to wiggle this if you're not sure if you've got your border right. There we go. I'm going to put, I always do that, I'm always afraid. I'm going to put just a stamp set on it for a few minutes, just to allow that glue. I usually use my big block here. I'm hoping I don't have anything on it. All right, so let's work on our greeting now. So I did these greetings yesterday. And I think, because I already used this on one of the stamp sets, one of the stamp examples, I'm going to use this one again. Yeah, I have to use a bigger block to get it on there. I think I want to use it because we used that blue there, so I think I want to stamp it on here. I'm going to use it with the Memento Black. Get this lined up so hopefully I stamp somewhat straight. There you are. Now, if I had wanted it to be a little bit darker, I could have put it on our Stamparatus, which is retired, but I still use it to get that darker. But I'm okay with the way this is. And I think what I want to do on this is I'm just going to trim it with my trimmer. Trim it down. I want that top of that C and L to be just inside my cut line so I can see it right there. Let me show you. See how in that channel I can see just the top of the C and the L? So then I know I'm going to have a very small frame. Do the same thing here, like having these down when I do it. I'm making sure that T is just seen in that little, because here's where I'm cutting. Oops, sorry, here's the cutting. So see how that T is just right inside before that cutting line. Make sure it's against the edge. There you are. Let's do it here again. I want the end of that Celebrate to go right into where I just see it in this channel. There we go. Now I didn't do that the greatest. Let me do it a little bit. There we go. Get a better, tighter edge there. Ooh, I got froggy all at once. Alright. Go ahead and put this back under my block. Sorry, it's right close to the microphone stand. Alright. So here we go. We're going to... You always hate to cover everything. I feel like I have a lot of, excuse me, empty space there. So I'm going to put this right here. Cover up some of that empty space. All right, so let's go ahead and put this down. I've been using the green glue a lot more than my seal. I did get my order of seal in. But I got so used to using the green glue that I'll get back to the seal. And then once I start using it, I'll be using it all the time. But just got a little used to using the glue. Alright, before I pop this up with dimensionals, we're going to figure out if I want any of my little doodads on there. Now, let me show you. These are in the January to April mini catalog. These are non-adhesive, so you would have to put down your green glue or your dots before it. So I think those are prettier. I was going to go to my standby favorites, but I just think those are a little too dark for what I have going here. So I'm going to use these. Let me get out my precision tip, and let's put one there, put one there, and let's put one. I don't want to be so matchy-matchy. Put one right there. Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit of dot, giving it just a second to set up a little bit. And then, let's see, the last time I did this, it really brought up a lot of the little sequins or the little mix. So let's go. Let's do this again. Now I'm going to have glue all over the place. See, I have a little bit of glue on the edge there, so I'm just going to scrape it away with this. There we go. Again, I got a little bit of, well, I got two down there. I'm just going to leave them like that. It'll be all right. And then let's just get just a mirrored one. I'm going to grab this one from this lid. It's right here. All right, give that just a second to set up. I don't use these non-adhesive sequins enough. I like having the adhesive already on the back. And that's what Stampin' Up! Is fabulous for. Very few of their embellishments are not already adhesive. So, do like that about them. So even though I usually do things in 3, I do have 4 on there. Here, let me go like this so you can see. It's where it focuses better. But I think it'll be okay. Alright, so let me go ahead, grab out. Oh my goodness. My little drawer here is, don't know why all the minis are at the top. Here's my regular ones. The minis and the blacks are at the top. Not sure why. I must have been using them for something. Alright, put this back over here, my little stacker here. Alright, so let's go ahead. Here. All right. And I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to cover up. I feel like I have a lot of white space there. So, yeah, I'm going to do like that. I'm covering up a lot of that center focal point, but that's all right. So there you are. There's a card using that, the dies and that embossing folder. But the embossing folder, and you, if you wanted to, you could use the butterfly embossing folder wherever I put it. The 3D. You could use that on this also. I'm afraid though it'd be so matchy-matchy that you wouldn't get, you know, the standout impression like you have here. Alright, let me show you the other cards I made. Had a lot of fun creating these. So this was where I used that embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder, but didn't cut out that butterfly. So I did this as this is a panel card, and then I did, was my 4 by 12, and I cut it down to 4 by 10 and a half, and scored it at 5 1/4. All right, so then I just use that. Now, when you cut paper after you've run through the embossing folder, remember I told you break down all those fibers? You are going to get little scritchies and edges, just so you know, because those fibers are broken down on that paper now because you've run it through that embossing folder. Alright, these, I didn't put greetings on these yet, only because I like to have a stash of cards that don't have any greetings yet. So if like I have a situation, I have some cards that are general like this that are ready to go. So this is, I cut out, let me show you. I cut out that. I cut out these. You have lots of pieces left over then. Here's that one that's from here. So that's already embossed and ready to go. I have these edges. So this was from this piece. And here's the inside there. So now I have those pieces left that I can use. I have this because I did it in fresh freesia. This is what we colored and did in the other day. This, I need something more. I think I should have run this through an embossing folder, and maybe I should have spritzed this with re-inkers to have splatters back there. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that, so that's kind of in the background. So let me take these card pieces out of the way here. So here's what we have for today. Don't have that really set up well, do I? There we go. How about like that? So there you are, guys. Sorry the video was so long, but hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share on your social media. Most of all, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Have a good Sunday. Be safe. All right. Bye for now.